Hey there, friend. I'm Chunk Trafficander here with another Flip Normals exclusive course. One major pain point when working in games is finding the balance between quality and performance. A common workflow technique used by game artists to strike that balance is texture baking. Texture baking is a fantastic technique for achieving high-quality visuals while also maintaining optimized game assets to run well in your game. And while it's simple in theory, that doesn't mean it's easy in application. In fact, it's actually one of the most difficult areas of 3D because of just how many other facets of the workflow it touches. If you're just getting started with texture baking, there will be a lot of obstacles you're going to face, starting with possibly the biggest hurdle of them all. How do I even start? Our jumping off point for this series will be why texture baking is an important skill set to have. From there, we will discover the first few steps taken into preparing our models for baking, what textures we can actually bake in the process, and then we'll jump right into the action. A large portion of the series will look at common baking issues you're going to encounter and some time and energy efficient ways you can mitigate them. Towards the end of the series, we're also going to look at some tricks to overcome more insidious issues and complex problems that you're likely going to have a hard time Googling on your own. Like I've said, texture baking can be an incredibly frustrating process. This course is not a course best suited for someone completely new to 3D, as you're going to be building upon other foundational concepts not taught in this series. To maximize your experience with this course, it's highly recommended you have at least a solid comfort level with modeling and UV unwrapping in any modeling application of your choosing. Because texture baking relies entirely on how efficient both our model and its UVs are, it's important that you first get comfortable with those foundational skills before you attempt to bake. Throughout this series, we will be looking at both Substance Painter and Marmoset Toolbag 4 for our baking. While I do show you all the steps I take to get quality bakes, it's also recommended that you at least be comfortable with navigating one of these software, as this is not intended to be an introductory course on either of them. We will focus primarily on only the steps required in each application to get started texture baking. As well, if you're using Marmoset Toolbag 3, you should be able to follow along no problem, as the concepts are pretty much transferable between versions 3 and 4, with some slight UI and button changes. Whether you are a confident modeler but complete beginner to the idea of baking, or you've been baking for a little while but are still having some trouble getting issue-free bakes for your models, this is the course you're going to want to take a look at.